Welcome back to this month's Stash Bash with Rachel and Kelly. And as you've probably guessed by what I'm holding here in my hands, today Rachel and I are doing 12 by 12 paper pads. So if you don't own 12 by 12 paper pads, grab your 6 by 8 paper pads. This is actually a journaling pad from Schmel, but I also have other paper here. Here's a good one. Here's a Vicki Boutin paper pad that's 6 by 8, or you can always also grab your 6 by 6 paper pads, depending on what you have at your disposal. But Rachel and I both have 12 by 12 paper pads that when we talked about it, we both kind of said that we need to put some focus on and use up a bit. So that's why I am grabbing this paper pad. So then the other challenge I'm kind of throwing at myself here is that I'm using a Simple Stories Faith paper pad. And this paper pad, let me see if I can give you a date, is from 2017. Now, I did not buy this paper pad right away. I think I bought it the year later, but that means that this is still probably 2 years old or something around that time, between 2 and 3 years old. And my challenge, I do use this to scrapbook faith-based layouts every so often, but my challenge for myself today is going to be to use it to scrapbook these birthday photos of my daughter-in-law with all 4 of her darling children. So that's my beautiful daughter-in-law with the 4 grands who, if you know me and have seen my work, they're M number 1 through 4 because their names all begin with M's. So I'm just kind of going through the pad here, and I think I have 2 options. Now, sometimes I'll tear papers out of here and then won't use them. So I have my envelope of papers here as well. They're wearing, my granddaughter and her mama are wearing like matching outfits here. So they have navy skirts with a coral color top. So I knew this paper pad had those colors in it. So I'm going to go here. So this is an option right here. Pull this out because I think this might be what I end up using. So obviously that's really busy, right? So I would, if I decide to do that, I'm going to have to work around that a little bit. There is a paper in here that I don't think I have anymore. I think I've used it, and that's this heart paper. Ooh, although this is funny. So I said I could also use this as well as a paper too, which I think is kind of appropriate here, although I love the idea of using this paper. Now I do have, this is a piece of one of the papers from the pad. Now, I will tell, this is actually a piece that I bought with the collection, but it is one of the papers from the pad right there. I just decided not to go searching for it. So there's that piece. And then I do have this gold as well. There's also this one from the pad. My question is, so if I use this is so busy with these photographs that I would want to do something like this. And I just talked about this on a live on Friday night that I did. You'll see this recording about a week and a half later, about when you have a busy pattern, how do you kind of get the flavor of the pattern but not have it be so overwhelming. And one of the ways you can do that is use the pattern as a border, or you can also do something like this where you do this would be the main piece and then you have like a little strip there. So I could do that with this, where I do something like this. And then what I would probably do when I do a paper like this and I have a join like this, I like to then use washi tape or something else to divide the 2 papers. So let's see how this looks. I do like that quite a bit. I think that just because they're out in nature, now I can do the same thing over here as well. And really, honestly, when I'm looking at it like this, the other thing I do sometimes is I'll put them like this piece on the bottom, and then with this, for some reason, this particular paper, that just looks better to me with the pieces on the with the piece on the bottom. Not the same here. I really like it on the top here. I really think this is kind of the easy solution, right? I really think I want to do this paper right here. So part of the reason that is so my daughter-in-law is very feminine, but she also is athletic. Definitely was when she was in high school. She and my stepson, before they had 4 kids, used to do like fantasy baseball and football and that kind of stuff, and she regularly used to beat him. So anyway, now I also just saw this, and I might try to work this piece in here. I have a couple of wood veneer pieces here. These are old Chamel pieces that are just sitting on my desk, and this is a floral one. That's just a wood one that says lovely. I'm going to cut these apart. Maybe I'll use that. I have that pile of things that are off to the side, so that's a possibility, and then I can work in other wood veneers. It's her birthday in these photos, so I also grabbed this Crate Paper Hooray chipboard because you can see the colors work really nicely. So I thought maybe the happy birthday, the cake, and this piece would work very well. There's a party hat here. I did grab my birthday folder of things, plus I also have this sticker sheet, which I happen to have 2 of them. Now, I could try to use this heart this heart piece to, yeah, and this is what I thought, to be the border. One thing, I think it won't work as well because it is navy going on navy, but the other thing, these Simple Story stickers don't go all the way to the edge. So it's not truly 12 by 12, which would mean, and I do this sometimes, I would have space on the side. But I'm going to try to use some pieces from this also in this birthday layout. So like the little plants here would work. You know, I've got words here that might work, like love one another, with you always, those kinds of things. You know, the flowers and hearts and things could work. So that's a pretty easy one. And then I also have these Domestic Bliss brads, which need to get used up, and then this is the brads that go with this Faith collection as well. So I'm going to take a look like this, and this could be easily used on this layout. So not quite sure exactly what's going to happen here, but I think we have a basic structure for this. And I think since we're there, I'm going to put you on fast forward and we'll get working on the layout. Okay, so let's get started constructing the layout. So I have the floral paper again from the Simple Stories Faith 12 by 12 pad. And then I have that scrap of coral paper, which appears in the 12 by 12 pad. And I could have pulled it from the 12 by 12 pad, but instead I used a scrap from my stash. You know, in the same kind of envelope where I keep all of the collection. So technically, you guys, this is honestly a stash fail because those are the only 2 things I use from the pad. Oh my gosh. Anyway, the good news is I did use this collection and I used quite a bit of old stash on this, which you will see as I go. One of the things is this washi tape that I'm using right now, and that is Bella Boulevard. Now I'm looking at using these wood pieces that I had talked about in the beginning of the video. So that one says lovely, and I thought that was really sweet, kind of. And then I went to my Crate Paper Hooray chipboard stickers, and that is a birthday collection. And sorry guys, this is a little low. I got a little low here. So sorry about that. Not a lot's going to go down on that bottom edge though. And I do have the photos at the end for you to see. So there is the chipboard tag, and then I grabbed a piece of cake and then a birthday hat, which, you know, my daughter-in-law is not wearing. But then I went to my brads from the Simple Stories Faith collection, the decorative brads, and I'm going to use one up there, and then I'll use the matching sticker down below. So that's why I went there. You know, it's a smaller version up on top, plus, you know, use the brad piece. So the success of this layout is that I'm using a bunch of
this old Simple Stories stuff. So now I'm looking at using that wood again, and it just didn't work, which happens almost every time I try to use these. I actually this afternoon put together a stash kit and I popped these in there, and I'm hoping that I use them. All right, so what I'm doing now is I'm just trying to decide where that sticker is going to be. And then I grabbed this other sticker that said love, and those are the Simple Stories Faith Combo cardstock stickers. So that's where that vase of flowers and then the love piece came from. And then to give that something to kind of rest on so it doesn't look like it's just hanging in the air, I grabbed a piece of the Bella Boulevard washi tape and I'm just adding it in to give that a little, like a little shelf to sit on. Okay, so now I looked at the photos, tried to decide to do that, and I know that I need some journaling space. And I realized I have some kind of corally red die cuts from Ellie Studio. And that's what I am doing here is I'm just adding one of those die cuts in. And that'll give me, I don't need to say a lot. It's obviously my daughter-in-law and her kids. And then obviously it's also probably her birthday, I guess, because of the yay, happy birthday thing, the tag there. And I will just say, you know, I think in the journal I said something like happy birthday, mommy, or something like that. So I'm just going to get that tucked in there to get, you know, you want to get the date on there because obviously in years to come, you want to be able to see that. And then I'm just going to add this little yellow flower there to kind of start out looking at that, just to it kind of bridge the gap between the tag and the E for the love. So I do need to get these photos down before I do any other clusters. So that's what I'm doing now is just getting those down. And again, I glue like a lot of people do. I glue more towards the center. If I think edges are coming up, I will glue them. And now that one I did glue down a little bit. I have a little bit of an idea of where things are going to go. But that way, if I want to tuck, I can do that. I went back to that combo cardstock sticker sheet and I found this little floral cluster here. And I'll put that at the top. And there is an inordinate amount of fooling around here. Seriously. Okay, so I'll add that in. Guys, while I'm thinking about it, don't forget to go to the description box in the video because I'll have the link to Rachel's video there so you can see how she handled the 12 by 12 pads. And hopefully she used more papers or elements from the 12 by 12 pads than I did. I feel like I owe you another video, seriously. But at least again, like I said, I'm going to use up a ton of the stickers and brads here as you're seeing right now. All right, so I'll use my little Making Memories Pokey tool to get the hole poke through so I can get the brad poke through. And I did realize I never put any, I like to put some tape on the back of those just so they don't poke anything. And I also do, if I have a bigger piece like this beneath the brad, I like to add a little bit of glue to it because otherwise they shift and I don't love that. All right, so I'm adding that. Now I'm seeing what else I can do. I like that heart, so I'm going to add that in there, just because this is about their mama. Looking to see what else I can do. So I'm looking at like phrases. I'm thinking I want to add some navy blue into that cluster right there. So there was a sticker that said his perfect love, and I'm going to cut off the his perfect and just do love here. So another, you know, I'm using a faith-based collection to scrapbook layout that's not about faith. Not that I couldn't have done some of that on here, but it's more about it's her birthday and these are her children. All right, so then I added another flower up there and I'll add a heart here, but that's, you know, cutting off part of that sticker is going to make the stickers work for me versus me working for them. And if you kind of look at them with that kind of a philosophy, sometimes that can help you use up things that you might not normally, especially when you're using a collection for what it's not intended for, a themed collection for what it's not intended for. All right, so now I'm just adding this twine, and that is from My Mind's Eye. It's I didn't write it down, but like Lime, Ricky Lime Twist, that collection, there was a lime collection. That's what it came from. Not that this is lime, it's that pinky red, again, corally color. And then I'm looking at this and I have quite a few of these solid color brads here. So I'm going to take those because I was thinking about grabbing some enamel dots and I'm going to use them like I would enamel dots, which would make sense, right? They're there. Let's get them used up for that. So then the first thing I'll do is I have this little heart one, little coral heart one. I'll place that there, just kind of on the edge there. And I just like how this adds just a little bit of something. And I'm also looking at adding in colors. I want a little bit more navy up there because there's so much navy on the bottom. I want to balance that a little bit, so I'll add that one there. And then there was only one navy brad here, but I do have another collection that I'll grab a second navy brad, and that's the Simple Stories Domestic Bliss Decorative Brads. Those are the Faith decorative black brads. Blah, if only I could talk. Decorative black brads that I have been using. Oh my goodness. So I'll add in this one, this navy one right here. And that, once I get that in, we'll finish up the layout. I love how this worked, what happened with this beautiful busy paper, how it's on show. And here's the still shot, guys, and a couple of detail shots. Hope you are all well. Don't forget to take a look at Rachel's video, which is in my description box. Bye, everybody.